All right, good morning. Welcome in to another ECI Company Friday meeting. A lot of good things to talk about today. Should be a really nice day. So let's start the day with a good meeting and transition to JHAs if you haven't done them already. Today, just kind of wanted to highlight some of our it's our most frequent injury that happens at ECI is hand injuries. We're seeing a little bit of an uptick over the last month on kind of minor hand injuries. A lot of it is kind of hazard identification and good mitigation and best practices. So it's kind of what we're going to talk about a little bit today is just help with that hazard identification and then just kind of setting ourselves up with success. Hiring a lot of people each week, a lot of new people joining the team. So the more that we can communicate kind of these hazards, especially the simple ones that you might forget to think about because they're almost kind of common sensey. I think it's good to communicate those so we can prevent some future accidents and injuries on our ongoing projects. So hand injury facts, some fun kind of data that OSHA shares with us. So roughly, there's about $400 million spent on hand injuries throughout the United States on an annual basis. It's a lot of money. And it's kind of true for us too, because it's kind of our most frequent injury that we see. And it's one of those things that it does not just kind of go in quick stitches. It usually has x-rays involved. There's just a lot more to it. Follow-up appointments, because it just takes a lot of time to heal. So it's one of those kind of lingering injuries that occur that could cause an employee to kind of be on restricted duty. So then everybody else has to kind of pick up the work because someone's kind of one-handed for a little while. So we sometimes dumb it down like, oh, it's just a hand injury, be okay. That is kind of true, but at the same time, during that time, there's just a lot of unhitting costs and unhitted things that everybody else has to kind of pick up the slack with. So about 70% of those injuries could have been prevented for just simply wearing some gloves. You know, if it's leathers or if it's a nice pair of leather or kind of like or like those body mechanic gloves that we have in the tool crib, because it just kind of helps with that extra layer of protection. Some of these injuries, though, with crushing, gloves aren't going to do anything, and it's going to be more about hazard identification and using alternative tools such as screwdrivers and other kind of uh, I'm drawing a blank when I'm thinking of, just something else to wedge and move cheer bars and things like that.
Yeah.
Um, so again, we want to identify these for a lot of different reasons because our hands are one of our most important parts of our bodies in the work that we do because we're constantly always moving, carrying, working with our hands because we like to get things done. So some of the potential hazards and what I really want to focus on is the kind of hazard identification side of the training is being really thoughtful and not like kind of turning off our brains and being kind of dismissive on projects is try to really make sure that we're identifying hazards, we're communicating those hazards, and we're kind of setting ourselves up for success when we're working around kind of sharp objects. Pinch points is the biggest one. It's like, all right, I got my hand on a rock, it's heavy, it could roll, and then it's right next to an excavator bucket. We've had a lot of little just material handling incidents because we're putting our hands between a really heavy immovable object and an object that could potentially kind of get caught in between and get crushed by. So other things such as using heavy equipment, using cheater bars, all that stuff. Then we also have sharp objects, doing a lot of cutting with sharp knives. We have the Milwaukee blades, retractable blades that we kind of cut fabric and filter fabric. We've cut ourselves before that way. We've had slip, trips, and falls just from getting out of trenches and excavations, someone falling and trying to brace themselves and they twist their wrists back really bad. That would be like a kind of a hand injury. Defective equipment, taking guards off, grinders, things like that. Then we got rotating and moving equipment. So again, we never want to put our hands in the line of fire. We had an incident with an auger machine trying to get a rock away from an auger, and it kind of grabbed our hand and crushed our hand pretty good before over the last couple of years. So again, it's just kind of that hazard identification of not putting your hands in the line of fire because you're going to get bit. It's like I kind of talk about in the orientation for new hires. It's like we're kind of snake handlers out there with the snakes being our hazards. So we have to really treat these with the most respect and making sure that we're doing our best to not put our hands always in the line of fire because we're going to get bit out there. Hot and cold surface, especially with the asphalt, having a good pair of leathers anytime we're handling any hot materials. And then that we don't deal a whole lot with chemicals, but we do a pretty good job of that. But again, it's that Portland cement, that's that chemical burn. So if a lot of that Portland cement gets on your hands, and you don't get it off soon, it's going to give you a really bad burn. So good hygiene, wash your hands, and making sure that you're wearing gloves and the proper gloves. We have a ton of different types of gloves available in the tool crib. If there's a glove that doesn't fit you or doesn't work for you, please contact us and we can try to find some alternative methods. Like all hazards, we like to look at it through the hierarchy of controls. Again, this is a good refresher when it comes to hand injuries and it comes to kind of hazard identification regarding those types of kind of pinch points. Really try to see if we can eliminate it with physically removing it. Substitution, which is we kind of replacing the hazard. So ergonomic design tools, newer design tools to help kind of with that stuff. Where we're gonna make our hay and really prevent a lot of hand injuries is kind of through that engineering and administrative control. So engineering control, again, is when we're going to isolate people from the hazard. So that is where the hazard identification really comes in for us. Is like, how can we, really prevent this hazard from hurting us? Tool guards is a great one. Using cheater bars instead of, putting your hands in the line of fire. That's kind of more the changing the way that people work around the hazard on the administrative side. That's through kind of training, best practices. But again, it stems from good hazard identification first, and then deploying these hierarchy of controls to hopefully prevent the injury. And then our last line of defense really is just PPE, and that should just kind of be our uniform, what we wear to protect ourselves to be a construction worker. So hard hat, safety glasses, high-vis clothing, gloves. You don't have to wear them 100% of the time, but have them readily available so you can deploy them, these gloves, at a moment's notice when you feel like you're going to have to put your hands or carry something that could be sharp or handle something that could be hot. It's least effective, but again, it's good to have what you have. It's good to have what you need to do a job at a moment's notice. So having the proper gloves nearby and ask questions about hazard identifications if you have it. And if you do identify the hazard, try to utilize the hierarchy of controls to set yourself for success so you don't get hurt while working. It's really all I have today. Ben, if there's anything more that you want to share on kind of preventing hand injuries, feel free to jump in.
Yeah, just don't put your hand where you wouldn't put other parts of your body that are important to you.
I was hoping you're going to say that. I'll stop sharing.
Okay. Can we, hold on, I just gotta, can you see? Did it come up?
Yep, we got it.
Perfect. Okay, focus of the week, hand injuries. It's always good to keep the gloves handy. I got a pair in each of my vehicles right in the door, in case I need them. Don't always put them on when I should, but. All right, can you see my email now? It was flickering for a second on my screen.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, code of conduct item of the week is strive to maintain a positive and professional image of ECI to each other, to the people that we work with, and the public. So just remember that our reputation is a major asset, and it's determined by what we say and do. So let's build and maintain it with pride. We do get a good reputation from the way we conduct ourselves out there, and I actually got a call from someone yesterday just wanting to figure out if we could do some some work for them because they think that we represent ourselves well. So it is important. It doesn't always get us to work, but sometimes it gets us the chance to do stuff. Ownership topic this week is about how we can ourselves improve accountability. And a lot of it is individually, if we just own the responsibilities that we have at work. It's really important to take ownership of your responsibilities. I won't read this word for word, but when you have things throughout the day that you need to do, make sure you do them, get them done, check them off the list, and own your responsibilities. If things come up where you don't want to deal with something and avoid a difficult challenge, just find the courage to talk about it and deal with it rather than avoiding it. So confront any challenges that you have in your job with honesty and professionalism, and just look for solutions every day. And a lot of that relates to getting our responsibilities done. Sometimes we're disarmed by different things on getting our duties done. If we all own that responsibility, it's going to help us to be a lot more successful out there. It takes courage sometimes. It takes a little perseverance. Sometimes you got to work late. Sometimes you're in the vehicle and you get that one thing that you forgot to do. Stop and just get it done so that someone else can feel good about the fact that we're all pulling our own weight. So you can read that word for word, but own your responsibilities. We're all getting paid to get a job done, but we get a lot more done when we work together and we don't have to keep reminding each other and being disappointed that someone else didn't get part of their job done. Focus of the week for equipment is something that Matt, I'll let you run with this one quick. Forklifts. You see it?
Yeah, we brought a lot of people on so far this year, and not everyone has gone kind of through forklift training. So we thought it would be important to kind of send out a quick little reminder. It's kind of one of those shared tools that is readily available. Kind of, there's 3 of them around the shops, but it's really important that you have training before you operate a forklift, because when you do, you kind of lack the critical skills to avoid injuries. Could be property damage or potential OSHA violations that could be pretty expensive to the company. So proper training teaches load stability, safe maneuvering, proper braking, visibility, limitations, and how to handle different surfaces and environments. Without the knowledge, operators often overload, improperly stack, or drive too fast, leading to accidents and injuries. So forklift operation is not intuitive. It requires specific knowledge and skills. Always complete forklift training and receive certifications before getting behind the controls. Safety isn't optional when operating heavy equipment.
Yep.
It's kind of what we put down there. We just want to make sure everyone is trained before they operate. It's really easy. Just get with Tom and myself. We kind of, it's about an hour-long training. We give you some classroom training and then some hands-on training. And the biggest thing is just the proper controls. So you set yourself for success. So if you are in a pinch, you know exactly what to do to get out of it.
Yeah. So that's the message. Don't run it if you don't have the training.
Yes.
And the guys in the shop, they all know what they're doing with it and they have training. And what we don't want to do is start running a forklift when we don't know what we're doing and then have one of those guys come out and try to help. And we don't want them to have to be the police to be checking your certification. If they come out and try to help you when you're lifting something with a forklift to try to help you and then someone gets hurt, it's on all of us and it costs all of us a lot. And we don't want somebody getting hurt. So if you're working around the shop with those guys and you're on the forklift and they come out and you don't feel comfortable running that forklift, even if you got the training, if you just ask them to do it, they know what they're doing with that stuff and they will. It's just hard to put them in that position all the time of trying to be the police. I don't want them to have to be the police, but we have 2 nice rigs out there. They get used all the time and every day. And we don't need a forklift accident here. And we don't want somebody getting hurt.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to see sometimes if someone doesn't have the training because they're playing around with the
Yeah.
controls, moving
Yep.
erratically. We
Yep.
just don't want to put people in that situation.
You just give us a call or come in and see us. We're here for
Yep.
you guys.
Yep.
Any questions you got, don't hesitate to ask.
Thanks, Brad. Yeah. If you talk to them, and then you won't have to have us kicking your butt for doing the wrong thing. Those guys will help you, and we'll hold you accountable if you don't do it right. How's that? Thank you, Brad.
Also want to say thank you to all the crews for been recently seeing a lot of uptick in the greasing equipment and checking things. Thank you.
That's good. That's a good shout out, Brad. Thank you. So that's good info. It sounds like it gives the shop guys a good feeling when we're actually doing the things that we preach, right? And they can see when that stuff comes in and it's been greased. They know. So thank you, everybody. Classic Mike Lawyer Foundation, the golf tournament. It was on July 18th, and there's our team. It's like Ronnie, Nate, Sarah, Rich, and the doctor. That's cool. And the wellness challenge winner, if anybody wasn't here, it was 2 Fridays ago, right, Matt? When we did that, we drew for the
Correct. Yep.
for the Ranger, right?
Mhm.
And Mike Levick, he won, and it's in his possession. And look at these photos; it's pretty cool. I thought this was pretty awesome. The poster they made. I don't know if Mike's on, but if you want to say anything, Mike, you can. If you're not, you can just smile. But I love the poster. ECI Wellness Program. Thank you. Thing of all the happiness that it creates. It's pretty good. The happiness and the wellness that program created. So shout out to McKinney. I know he's on. He's probably listening to us right now. He's probably on, but he's off. Supposed to be off today, but he's one of those guys that when he's off, he's still keeping track of us and supporting us. So thank you, McKinney, for helping us put that to drive that have that program put forth for us. New employees, we've got Finley. Finn, met him on Monday. He's on the paving crew. Welcome, Finn. And we've got Carson. So met these 2 young men on Monday, and we're really happy to have you on our team. You guys are a good addition. Make sure to wear your gloves, you guys. I hope you got some new ones. If you didn't, we'll get you some. But hopefully we can keep you safe out there with gloves. Project of the week, Ron. I'm not quite sure, Ron Wallen, if you're on. I know you were supposed to be off today, I thought, but I couldn't remember. Are you on?
He's here.
Yeah, I'm on, Ben.
So, Ron, I want to first of all thank Ron for putting this together. Everyone gets these things that from us assigned, and then they get on the list, and then they put these together. But it's really great when you guys can feature your jobs and show us what you're doing out there. So Ron's going to tell us about the Quarry Hill railroad crossing project in Barrie. So go ahead, Ron, take it away. I'll drive.
So ECI was contracted with VTrans to perform the reconstruction of the Quarry Hill Railroad crossing on the Washington County Railroad in Barrie, Vermont. Our scope of work included full depth road reconstruction, culvert replacement, crossing reconstruction, crossing signal installation, including cantilevers and approach warning lights. And all the work has been performed utilizing alternating one-way traffic, and we did take advantage of one 9-hour road closure. So here's the second of the 3 culverts that we put in. Here we're doing a compaction test. This is on the lower side of the crossing. Kind of struggled to get compaction with this material for some reason. But we did finally get it, and plug it away.
Looks compacted. Looks nice and hard.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff was rock hard, but
Yeah.
you know, it's, you know how that goes sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Wrong
Oh, wow.
Proctor.
Yeah, exactly. Here, the pavers are putting on the first base layer.
Wow. You guys did a lot of work there. That's a big, sometimes it's just a little crossing. That's a pretty major thing that you guys did.
Yeah, there was a lot going on with this one for sure.
Wow.
This picture we had all the road reconstruction done. Everything was base paved, and then we didn't have enough time to put the track panel in and do all the pavement underlayment and under drain and signal conduit in that 9-hour window. So we did it half at a time. So this was the first half that we were doing.
Oh wow.
And there's
Under drain? Is that under drain? Yeah.
Yep, the under drain, the underlayment, pavement. And this is during the 9-hour closure. That's the new track panel that we set in.
Did you guys make that track panel down there, or did you like haul it there from here?
No, we built that on site.
Wow.
And it rained almost the whole 9-hour closure. That's a pretty good picture of it.
Wow.
It was pretty miserable.
Yeah.
That's just kind of a cool picture of a thermite weld going off.
Kind of scary when I saw one up close one time. It's kind of violent and scary if you're too close to it, isn't it?
It can be, yep. And here the guys are driving the cans for the cantilever foundation. This is
Why'd you
kind
use
of
two
where
vibros on that, Ron?
we were struggling to drive them. Some wicked dense material down there. We did end up getting them. We pre-augured them, and that relieved it enough where we could finish driving them.
No, very nice.
Yeah, that's cool. Good looking job.
It's kind of where we're at right now. We actually go back down on Monday. We got our rebar cages and anchor bolts for the cantilever, so we're going to go back down Monday, get those set, hopefully pour, and continue with some cleanup.
Nice. Thanks for showing us that's a real professional looking job with a lot of different parts and pieces to it, but it looks like a pretty nice looking example of what you guys do out there. So
Yeah, I actually
appreciate
got some good pictures from the RE and the inspectors. It's kind of hard to pick out the best ones, but
yeah.
that kind of gets us up to date on where we're at. If we do anything in the future, we do have some more pictures of some of the signal work that we were doing.
Cool. Well, thanks, Ron. Appreciate.
No problem, guys.
And I found this in the archives. This is more sidewalks down at UVM back in 2011. It was a few years ago. I think there's Sabrin. He's still here. We got Sabrin, Paul Sumner, and Jack Kerr doing some of those sidewalk panels down there. So I figured you guys might appreciate that. I'd like to pull some of these photos from the archives once in a while, and rather than give you a whole handful of them, I figure I'd go back to just giving you one photo each week for a while. So we're a little early, but that's good because we need to get out there and get to work today, and I'll turn it back over to Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Thanks, Ron. If you're watching a group setting, please send that over to me. Tom is off today, enjoying himself on a much needed day off. Yeah, send me attendance. Let's have a great day. Let's work safe. Let's drive safe. and let's work together as a team, and have a great one. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.